Hello, welcome to the ReTeam podcast. I'm your host, Adamonator. This is episode 23. It's been a while since our last episode, and I am being joined by two new faces to the podcast. First of which is Lagg. Hello, Lagg.
Hey, Adam. What's going on?
And I'm also joined by a very new member called Josh. Hello, Josh.
Hello.
All right.
I am wee babe.
Bob. Literally, you only joined within the last couple of weeks, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I haven't even been here a whole month. I don't think.
Yeah, no, we held auditions recently for new people to join us, and Josh was one of the lucky few. Yeah. All right. So obviously, with both of you being quite new to the team, we want our audience to get to know you a bit better. So we'll do the usual thing of talking about Kingdom Hearts, all that stuff. So we'll start with Lagg. Which Kingdom Hearts is your favourite one?
Ooh, that is a toughie.
No pressure.
I'm right. No, because if I don't say Kingdom Hearts 2, everybody's gonna get upset. No,
you can say whatever you want.
I know. I'm joking. No, honestly, I would almost have to say, okay, do you mean gameplay wise or just in general?
Whichever your favorite one is.
Okay. I would honestly say 3. Only because A, production quality was really good. B, world building was way better than 2. I prefer 1's puzzles-esque side of things, but with the going back to it nowadays, the movement is horrendous. But but no, 3. I think 3 was a perfect blend of building on worlds with the new style they had implemented, and then kind of not necessarily obviously wrapping things up in a nice bow for the story wise, but if you're just looking at okay, 1, 2, 3, just that main saga, it kind of did fill in everything that was needed just for this part of the arc, which was very nice.
Yeah, I mean, it is supposed to wrap up all the Xehanort stuff, but then Dark Road came afterwards, and you're like, well, okay,
right.
I suppose it's not the end of Xehanort, and then he appeared in Melody and Memory, and it's like, okay, so it's still not the end of Xehanort. So it wraps up enough, while also introducing new themes, Zigbar's whole deal, Luke Sword's whole deal, Quadrado, of course, which we didn't even get the name of until Melman, wasn't it?
Mom. It wasn't.
Yeah. All right. Same question to you, Josh. What's your favorite one?
Mine is for sure Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix.
That's fair.
Just for the sole purpose of it being incredibly nostalgic.
Right.
And it's the one I always come back to. I've gotten to the point to where it's I can just boot up the game on critical mode and just have an easy time with it and just coast with it, and it's so good. It's so fun.
Right.
Definitely.
And it's also the first Kingdom Hearts game that I owned.
Ooh.
So that's also fun.
You didn't grow up with the first one.
No. So I the way I was introduced to the series is very interesting, I think. Because I was a wee little guy, and some family had come over, and my cousin had brought his PS2 with a copy of Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, what is this? What is this weird contraption? And he's like, well, let me show you. And he booted up his save file, and I the first time I played Kingdom Hearts was Kingdom Hearts 1 during the Agrabah portion. Okay. So I guess that was my demo, my taste.
Oh, gotcha.
And I remember specifically getting scared during the bit where you're flying out of the Cave of Wonders. For some reason in my little mind, I was like, oh god, this is too much. It's too much. Cousin, please.
I learned about that section. I think if you're on beginner mode, there's not enough rocks in that chase that
not at all
can kill you. You physically can't die on beginner mode.
Yeah, and even if you do die, you just you end up in the next cutscene.
You physically can't. I don't think there's enough things to hit.
Objects wise.
Yeah, so objects wise. So there's not enough objects in that cave to take off enough health to take you down to 0 health. At least on beginner mode.
Oh,
It might be the same for standard. Definitely isn't the same for Proud though.
Yeah.
Because you can get knocked down in about 4 hits on Proud.
Right.
But yeah, no, I like both your choices. I think I chose Kingdom Hearts 3 as my favourite. Mostly just because it was a smoother version of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
The combat's very nice.
But weirdly enough, Kingdom Hearts 2 is the one I'll go back to more often. Just because I know it so well.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I think the way they blended from, obviously they definitely game mechanic changes from the first one, obviously, but the way they kind of shifted that to more of the action side with the combat, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it melded together nicely.
Yeah. I can understand why people like number 1, even though the gameplay is not great. The story is a lot tighter.
Yes.
But obviously the caveat being is that half the story is retconned to make the rest of the story make sense.
How did Mickey's lose his shirt?
That's the one thing they didn't retcon. So of all the things to retcon, to not retcon, why did you make it that Mickey got his nips out? It's so weird.
No, guys, I understand that we have to, like, you know, make sure that Mickey has his shirt on. But what if he didn't though?
Because I think
that thing going.
I honestly think just because at the time, because of how strict Disney was with Mickey for the very first game, they had to make it as iconic as possible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they couldn't give him too big of a design. Oh, sorry. They couldn't give him too big of a design because if the game did flop, then people were like, "Oh my god, we want to see that proper design," and you never get to see it.
I think Disney also had like some sort of licensing thing with another game that was using the Mickey Mouse license, so they couldn't necessarily utilize Mickey Mouse as much as they do in the first game.
Mickey is owned by Disney, so they can make concurrent games like involving Mickey Mouse, but they didn't want Mickey Mouse specifically involved with this one because it's a brand new IP.
Yeah.
And the main character is not Mickey.
It's
not like Epic Mickey where the playable character is Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Because obviously you need the mouse because he's the playable character. In Kingdom Hearts, obviously they couldn't use Mickey as much because it's a brand new thing. Wasn't it like...
It was originally going to be Donald.
Yeah, Disney wanted Donald to be the main character because they weren't thinking of a brand new character. Square Enix wanted Mickey to be the main character. So
I'm so glad for Tetsuya Nomura coming up with Sora and Riku and Kairi and all that.
Yeah. I do kind of wish
also like homaging Mickey by having like Sora's outfit match that of Mickey's like color design.
Yeah.
I do kind of wish though that they kept the chainsaw design. I love that chainsaw design.
It's metal as hell, man.
Or I wish they would bring it. I honestly wish they would bring it back as like a Keyblade, form change.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Well, they are doing. It seems like they're doing more interesting stuff with the Keyblade for 4. In
the chain specifically.
Yes, the keychain itself. Which, if they use the Keyblade transformations more for movement, I would happily give up flow motion.
Oh yeah. No.
If flow motion was drawn back just a little bit more, and then you allowed like swinging from trees or like lampposts or whatever using the Keyblade, I'm all for it.
The only thing I didn't like about the flow motion was that you only use the train twice. Throughout the whole game, you only use it twice.
Oh, the
attraction flow.
The attraction flow. Yeah. It's a little weird that they're limited to 2 fights.
Yeah, it's the the first Titan Rock fight, and then the 1,000 Heartless battle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Horde fight.
Yeah.
I don't know what people have come up with. People say like, oh, it's the 10,000 Heartless fight. But Unversed
and nobody's as well.
I think they just say Heartless because we had 1,000 Heartless before, so I think that's just kind of like just play on easier to say.
I think maybe we just call it like the Darkness Horde or something.
I don't know. I'm gonna call it the train ride fight.
The train ride.
I mean, it may as well. It's just as iconic as the Titan fight.
Yeah.
Right. Next question for both of you. I'll start with Josh this time. Favorite
Okay.
character?
Ooh, I think Riku for sure. I love Riku.
I like that you're on
Riku's
Riku
arc,
and
like,
not
yeah,
a particular character to begin with. R.
oh,
Everyone does that one. Everyone chooses Roxas.
I mean,
I don't choose
can't blame
Roxas.
them.
I don't choose Roxas. I don't.
Out of spite. Out of
No.
spite.
Oh well, no, it's not that. I like him as a character, but I just don't. What use does he have now? I guess is what I'm trying to say. Where is the use for him now?
My only appearance of Roxas that I like is in, weirdly enough, Days Encoded. His appearance in Coded is so much better used.
Yes.
Because it's so angry and so like emotional.
So visceral.
Yeah.
Like, I'll show you what real hurt feels like. I feel that in my bones,
I feel like it was Jesse McCartney, right?
Yeah.
Like you could genuinely feel like he was pulling it in the audio booth.
Yeah, it's genuinely like a golden nugget in what is otherwise a very lackluster story.
Yeah. No, I like you chose Riku mainly because our Riku voice actor, I had to convince him to like Riku.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he originally auditioned for Sora, and I told him in the auditions like, hey, I don't think your voice is right for Sora, but it would make a great Riku. And then after a couple of episodes of doing the thing, he said to me, "It's like I'm not really in it. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like Riku." It's like, mate, like, have you never played Chain of Memories? It's like, no.
Right.
I've seen Chain of Memories. How have you seen Chain of Memories and not enjoyed Riku's story? It's like, wait, Riku's story?
Oh my god.
He'd never heard of Reverse Rebirth.
Bro didn't know.
He didn't know about Reverse Rebirth.
And I don't think he ever played 2, or maybe he did.
No, he did. He played 2, but he just didn't really think, because Riku's story follows on from Chain of Memories, so it does sort of feel like a very much like a heel turn from 1 to 2.
Yeah.
So you need that Chain of Memories. You need that in between in Chain of Memories for Riku's story to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it does flow not nicer. Anyway, Lagg, what about you? Favorite character?
I'm gonna say Riku as well, but it's a very I know this is kind of playing like on the soft blow, but it's gonna be a big toss up with Goofy because Goofy's my top tier Disney character. Like, yeah.
I think you're the first person in this team that when I said, "Hey, favorite character," you're the first one to say a Disney character. Everyone else goes straight to like Kingdom Hearts.
Right.
Which me, by the way, I don't go to see that.
I mean, Goofy's
So Kingdom Hearts specifically, like original IP Kingdom Hearts, Riku, but if we're talking about the whole game, Goofy.
Yeah,
fair enough.
That's a good choice.
Only because, while he is my favorite Disney character, when I first played Kingdom Hearts 2, the scene where you think he died, that got to me so hard. I was like, holy crap, he's dead.
I was actually just about to bring that up because I'm watching the streams of a previous guest of ours, a guy called Gentlemate, lovely fella. He's playing through Kingdom Hearts 2 right now, and he just did that. He just beat Demix. Did it first try, by the way. But he's never heard of Kingdom Hearts before playing it. Doesn't know any of the story beats. Doesn't know anything that's going on. And he's only just got to that Crystal Cave. So just before the Thousand Heartless fight. And he doesn't know that's coming up.
Wait, hold up. The Goofy thing happens.
Yeah, I know.
You mean the Thousand? You mean the Thousand Heartless battle?
Yeah. So he's just got to the cave after the Final Fantasy fights.
Okay.
So we managed to convince him just for a little bit that Goofy actually died because he left the party. He's like, Goofy's not coming back.
All of his equipment
You
is
got-
in
yeah,
your inventory now, too,
Yeah.
I think.
Yes, yeah, it
It's
all
the
comes to
only
you.
time- it's the only time in the game series where they do that.
Yeah.
So we managed to convince him, even for a little bit, that Goofy actually was dead. He got through all the He got through the Final Fantasy fights, did all that, got to the cave, and then Goofy came out. He's like, "Hey, fellas!"
That's awesome.
Although the only other time that they do that is Donald Duck in 3. The only other time they do that.
Right.
right,
But
they
like,
don't.
not to the extent that they
No.
like
Yes, yeah,
take you,
you're right.
take him out of your party and
Because
whatnot.
the only thing that diminishes the Donald one is that everyone dies as well.
True.
Oh,
Oh.
sorry, a police car just went straight past my house.
Oh my
heard
goodness.
that.
So yeah, and, everyone else dies in the fight as well, which does
Yeah.
diminish the Donald thing a little bit. So it's they try to do the same, but it doesn't quite work.
Yeah. Could you imagine if like Goofy like stayed out of your party longer?
Oh my god! That
At
would
least
make
up
crazy.
until like maybe after the Thousand Heartless battle. Maybe.
Oh yeah, like
maybe.
the,
Can I
like,
say,
the
imagine-
very end of the
I wonder if
the visit.
I wonder if anyone's done an essay on the Kingdom Hearts series. What if The Rock actually killed Goofy? Because I know that someone, it might have been regular Powell, someone did an essay of what if the crocodile ate Sora in Neverland. I love those sorts of like what ifs. They're
No, those
so
are fun.
good.
Those are very fun.
I think someone
need
else
to
also
watch that
did,
that video.
What if Kyrie became the Keyblade Master?
Oh yeah.
So
I think I remember seeing
instead of Kyrie going into the cave, Sora went to the cave. And then Kyrie confronted Riku.
Mm.
Um,
That,
It would make
that
bromance
sounds like
a
an
lot
interesting
stronger.
dynamic. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now the one thing I was real quick. I was just gonna go back on that Goofy death scene. I never heard it, and I've heard people say that you can hear him snoring when he gets hit.
No,
I can never hear that.
no, you
I
can't.
can't hear. You can't?
can't.
Okay. I was
Yeah,
like,
no,
am I
I've
going
never heard
crazy?
of
Like,
like no, he doesn't snore.
okay,
Like he doesn't
okay,
even
that's
breathe. His stomach doesn't move.
nothing. He's just there, laying on the ground.
Bro
He's
is just
straight up
knocked
knocked out.
out.
Okay. But yeah, that's the reason why. Well, that's one of the reasons why I like Goofy.
Yeah, because if
Good reason.
if Goofy was snoring, then Donald and Sora going up to his unconscious body wouldn't have the same effect.
Yeah, you're right.
Sorry, Josh, I feel like I've been interrupting you a couple times.
No,
Sorry.
you're good. No, it's all good. I'm just trying to get used to the setting and all that.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
this is my
podcast
first time
session.
doing one too.
Yeah, because we're all in different areas across the world. Like it's, it is difficult to sort of gauge off people. So
Right.
I try and be mindful, but it's a little difficult.
No, it's fine, man. I get it. I'm not upset by it, so you're good.
Let's go for another Kingdom Hearts question.
Yes.
Let's go Lag first this time. Favorite song? So any track that was first seen in Kingdom Hearts.
Mm.
Wait, Kingdom Hearts 1 or just
No,
in general? I'm sorry.
just in general, as long as it appeared in the
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts series. So One Winged Angel is off because it appeared in Final
Swim
Fantasy
this
VII.
way, we'll dance and we'll play.
No.
No, I'm kidding. Honestly, Face My Fears, Sanctuary, and then Simple and Clean, in that order.
Okay, so the three main themes.
Yeah, but in that order.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are pretty solid.
Only because
Yeah.
Simple and Clean, while it is a fan favorite, it gets over memed and overused too much.
Yeah, I mean we memed
Yeah.
it. We did a Google
Yeah.
Translate version.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
I need to see this post haste.
I will show you after this podcast.
Of course.
We've actually got a couple of remixes as well.
Ooh.
One done by Chalabert and 8-Bit Nuke, who are on our team. I can't remember which one did it. I think it was 8-Bit Nuke. I'm gonna be either way. One of them's gonna kill me.
Oh no.
The other one was done by a guy called Idol Music, who hasn't posted in a while. But but he did a cover for us, and it's amazing.
Nice.
Anyway,
I've only
Josh,
heard the simple and clean cover that y'all did.
the what? Sorry.
The simple and clean cover for the first retranslated Kingdom Hearts project.
We did an a cappella version for episode 7, and then we released a full music version separately, and then we got all the remixes as well. But yeah, episode. What about you, Josh? Favorite song? It doesn't have to be like simple and clean. It doesn't have to be any of those.
No, I know,
worded ones.
because like my brain went to like all the various tracks from the series. Oh man, because I listened to the Kingdom Hearts soundtrack.
Are you by chance a Rowdy Rumble fan?
I love me some good Rowdy Rumbles. I love a Rowdy Rumble a good amount. But let's see. I'm always going to be a big fan of Rage Awakened. Rage Awakened is always going to be a banger.
Rage Awakened is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's Rage Awakened is the Ventus one, not Vanitas one, right?
No, Rage Awakened is the Lingering Will fight.
Oh, right, yes.
The one that you're thinking of is Enter the Darkness, I think.
Right.
Or either that or the final boss variant, which is, I think, Unbreakable Chains, I think.
I was thinking of the just the encounter version, like the one that's really, really slow. It's like do 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 do.
Yeah. I think because there's 3 versions of that song.
Yeah.
Because there's 2 versions in Birth by Sleep, and then there's one in 3.
Yeah. No, the Rage Awakened, like when it comes back in 3, oh my god.
I do think that it was I don't know. Part of me kind of wishes it wasn't in 3, but like specifically in the final boss version.
What, Rage Awakened?
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I was kind of hoping for like an original track.
Well, I can see why they used it, because Terra Xehanort doesn't have a proper theme.
Right.
Because his theme is Rage Awakened. I think it's the one used in Birth by Sleep, right?
Oh, you know what?
I think if I remember right,
well,
Rage Awakened is the song that they use for when you're playing as Aqua against Terra Xehanort in Radiant Garden. I think
that would be Dismiss, because Rage Awakened does play in Birth by Sleep, and it does play against Terranort, but that's at the end of Terra's route.
Oh, when you're playing as the Lingering Will.
When you're playing as the yeah. So I've always associated Rage Awakened with Lingering Will himself.
Right, got it.
But I mean, it's still a great song, and it does suit the fight.
It should have played in Kingdom Hearts 3 because of when the Lingering Will does turn up.
Oh yeah.
But no, I associate it heavily with Lingering Will, specifically fighting against Terra Xehanort, though.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see why, they probably used it for the Terra Xehanort fight. Terra Xehanort was always a bit of a weird choice for
Terranort.
Yeah.
Now I was gonna say, and I was kind of thinking about it, I was waiting till y'all were we had a moment, but I was gonna say I'm gonna go back. I'm actually gonna replace Simple and Clean on my list. 0.2 Simple and Clean.
Ooh, the plant, yeah.
Oh, the Ray of Light mix.
Yes, that's what it's called.
Ray of Light mix is really good.
I really like that better than the original.
Oh yeah.
It's a bop.
No, we actually did a quiz based on our music choices on a different podcast episode, and for me, I put one of my favorites as the Tumbling.
Ooh, the Tumbling's good.
The Tumbling is pretty good. It's BBS's version of Rowdy Rumble, but way better.
I'm trying to picture it now.
Tumbling is the one that goes
the violin piece.
Oh, okay.
It's against boss fights.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
It's against like the marching the
The
music man
maestro.
and
Maestro.
Yes,
the maestro.
that-
The spinning wheel, right?
I think so too. Yeah, it plays in a couple of the first like unversed bosses in Birth by Sleep.
Yes.
I think
No,
it's
it's
also in
just-
the. I think it's in the boss first. One of the bosses for Stitch's world.
Possibly? Is it against
I think-
Sparky?
No, I think it's against the unversed one.
I
Oh,
think
the jelly
Sparky
shake.
has just the encounter, if I remember correctly.
That might
but I
just be
could
the
wrong about
encounter,
that.
yeah.
Okay,
The
never mind then.
encounter's great. All the tracks are great, but
Birth by Sleep had a lot of good tracks.
oh, for sure.
Like, I mean, I'm annoyed that it was basically locked to the PSP until the remix,
Recently.
until like these versions.
The sadness I felt when they announced that there was going to be no online play for Birth by Sleep. I understand why, but like, man, that'd have been great. That'd have been
There
fun.
really should have been. That they should have.
Like,
had
there was
the
no
lock-
reason why it shouldn't.
Like, honestly, it's a shame that Melmem's online mode died as quickly as it did. If they want a proper like online mode, it needs to be a dedicated online game. Which is why Square Enix should make Final Fantasy, not Final, for Kingdom Hearts Dissidia.
Oh yes.
Oh, that
Like-
would be fun.
I don't like Disney. Please, let us beat up Goofy.
What's wrong, Mick? What's wrong, Disney? Do you not like money? I thought that was like your thing.
If I would actually like it if you could fight against the Disney characters if the very cartoony ones, if Sora takes damage, you can feel him take damage, but when it's Goofy, like, you need the stupid sound effects, you need the him going
slapstick.
whoa, like,
Whoa!
it needs to be as goofy as hell, because the whole point of Kingdom Hearts is the seriousness of Final Fantasy and the dumbassery of Disney.
Yes.
Somehow blended magnificently together.
Oh yeah.
Oh god. Well, what else should we talk about? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. There's something in my head that I'm thinking like, oh, we could talk about this, but I don't know if we did it in another podcast. I don't know if we.
Have y'all already talked about like favorite antagonists?
Antagonists. The thing is, my favorite character is an antagonist. It's a Luxord.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh.
100%.
I've made it known that my favorite character of all time is Luxord.
Very fun choice.
Yeah, but I've loved him since Kingdom Hearts 2 because it's like I love the gambler type personality.
Hmm.
So
He definitely stood out.
yeah, because he always felt a little weird compared to the other members.
He felt what's the word? Disconnected with everybody else, especially
Yeah.
in 3.
Like even Zigbar, like so when it came to like the Kingdom Hearts 2 organization members, you have the comic relief of Demix. Okay, fine. You have the conflicts of Axel and Syax. You have the seriousness of Zaldin and Zigbar, and then of course Xemnas being their leader. And Luxord was like, always felt like he's not funny. He's not like evil in a sense, but he's very, very clever. Which
He's very tactical. Yeah, you can tell there's something going on in his mind that
Yeah.
he's, in a sense, like Zigbar, where Zigbar's kind of like planning things behind the scenes, but Luxord's more of like, hey, I'm on the sidelines. I'm watching everything that's happening to choose the best call.
Luxord always felt like the smartest person in the organization.
Yeah.
And then when Birth by Sleep came around, they made it so, oh, by the way, Zigbar's actually quite smart. Oh, by the way, Syax is actually pretty smart. Oh, Axel, even though he's pretty goofy, he's pretty smart as well. It's like, it sort of took away from Luxord quite a lot until Kingdom Hearts 3 happened, and then you have that whole thing in Remind. It's like, oh, God.
He definitely keeps his poker face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does now feel like Zigbar was smart because he was biding his time. Luxord is smart, but it feels like he's been manipulating it the entire time.
Yeah.
Zigbar just needed to stay out the way.
Luxord has to gather information. Like he definitely feels like he's trying to gather information about either the world that he's in, because if he is from Condratum, he's from a different realm,
Yeah.
or B, he's using this information to gain some goal, either to get back to Quadratum if he is from there, or something else.
Yeah. Actually, I have thought of something we can talk about, and it could take a little bit of time. So, as of recording this, Inside Out 2 is now on Disney Plus, and I've always wondered like how some Pixar, how different Disney or Pixar worlds could be integrated into Kingdom Hearts. So I want to talk about Inside Out.
Mm-hmm.
Have both of you seen it?
Yeah,
I've seen the first one.
You've seen the we'll talk mostly about the first one.
Okay.
We won't be talking about the Kingdom Hearts. We won't talk about the second one too much because spoilers. But we will spoil the first one.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it by now.
How would
if
you
you definitely haven't seen the first one.
How would you
fine.
integrate Inside Out into Kingdom Hearts? Now, it doesn't necessarily need to be a world. Like, I think, in my opinion, May from Turning Red, like, that world wouldn't make a good world, but her as a summon would be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So how do you think Inside Out could be integrated?
Do you want to start, Josh, or?
I mean, if you already have an idea.
So my idea is either Sora or maybe somebody like Strelitza becomes unconscious of some sort. And basically you go into the mind of Sora or that person and you're in their mind. Like either figuratively or literally you're in their mind, and Joy and all of them are there.
Just kind of like a space paranoid situation. You just go over to Strelitza and say, "Hey,
I
can I
gotta
go into your mind for a second?
Gotta go in your mind for a
There's some
moment.
chests in your mind that I need to get."
I mean, like, I feel like maybe Sora might be the better outcome of that. Like, especially like if he is like, let's say if he is like unconscious for some reason, and then Goofy and Donald's like, "Hey, how do we help him?" And they go into his mind, and there's like a fit, like kind of like Data Sora, where there's this alternate Sora that's in his mind, and they're able to like fight Heartless. Maybe there are chests there because that's what Sora's used to. Sora's used to opening chests, so there are going to be chests. But they can interact with his emotions though, and work out whatever problem it is.
Okay. So you see Inside Out as being like a fully fledged world.
In Sora's mind, yes.
Fair enough.
It'd be interesting too, seeing like the like little lands or whatever.
Yeah.
Based off core memories. What would Sora's core memories even
Yes.
be?
The island.
There's so much that happens.
I'm of the opinion that Inside Out could work as a minigame world.
That could work too.
So each Kingdom Hearts game has different minigame worlds. First one, obviously, all of them have 100 Acre Woods.
Mm-hmm.
The second one introduced Atlantica as a minigame world.
Yeah.
Third one didn't really do anything else.
Well, it had mini games inside each world, so that's why Winnie the Pooh kind of fell off because the mini games replaced Winnie the Pooh.
They did have.
There's also like the game and watch type of mini games.
They did have the Game and Watch stuff. Yeah, I think. Where were the mini games in Kingdom Hearts 2? They had Frozen. Slider.
Yeah,
you
Frozen
had
there
the
was the dancing mini game and the Tangled World.
You have the pointer. Oh, dancing.
Oh, the dancing. Oh yeah, of course. The dancing one in Tangled. Yeah.
You have the on-rail shooter one, or not the shooter, but the rings in San Francisco.
Of course.
There's also the flans. The flans.
The flans. Yeah. Well, I see the flans as more like the organization 13 mushrooms.
For sure.
So they're more like trials than minigames.
For the pirates, you have the 4 boss ships or alternate boss ships.
Yeah. I see them more as like boss fights in of themselves. I feel like the sailing itself is the minigame.
Yeah. I can
there's also the Viren Rex. There's also the Viren Rex stuff in Toy Story.
Yeah, the Viren Rex minigame in Toy Story.
Where you get to rock
and then just Monsters Inc. Was there a minigame in Monsters?
Well, there was also the cooking minigame as well.
Remy, yeah.
Lest we
I'm trying to think
about
with,
finding ingredients.
I'm trying to think with Monsters Inc. I don't think Monsters Inc. had one. I don't
did it?
think unless you like Olympus didn't have one either. Unless you had the mod where the Olympus Coliseum mod, then yes, it does.
Well, you need a mod to do that, so I would say no.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, Olympus, Monsters Inc. didn't have one.
So Kingdom Hearts 3 basically spread the minigames across the world.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 2 kind of did that, but it was very much like skateboard minigame, but it's only in these specific worlds, and they're all the same.
Yeah, skateboard minigame, side jobs, the whole, oh my goodness, Atlantica stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was also
the light cycle as well.
Yeah, the light cycle, but also the present minigame in the Christmas
my
Town.
god, that thing, fucking hell.
I forgot about that.
But yeah, no, so when it comes to Inside Out, so I feel like they really dropped the ball with 100 Egg Wood, and I feel like Kingdom Hearts 3, okay, this should be the end of 100 Acre Woods.
Yeah.
This game.
I still feel like they should have I wouldn't have minded, but I feel like they at the end of 100 Acre Woods story, they should have shoehorned in Christopher Robin in Twilight Town, and then Sora's like, "Hey, you're lonely. Here's this book." I mean, I would have been perfectly fine with that.
Fella. Here you go.
Well, I mean, I would have been perfectly fine with that because now Sora's not even there. So, like, what's the point of it?
No, that is a very good point.
Right.
I actually kind of like that idea. So let's say that Inside Out is a minigame world. What would you designate as the minigames? So you can't really do the void below headquarters because it's difficult to get out. So
Yeah, that would.
the whole point
be
of
a
that
pretty
is
dour
you're
minigame.
not supposed to get out. Maybe
I would
Imagination Land.
Hmm?
Like Imagination Land. How would you having that a world, but having a minigame based on that?
Yeah.
I was actually going to say have a minigame based off of each emotion.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be a bad idea, but I'd still tie it into the surrounding brain.
Yes, definitely.
Maybe the one at Dream Productions could be the fear one.
Right.
Scare the
Sora's
crap
fear
out
of
of fear.
It's like Sora's fear of losing his friends and stuff and not making it back home.
Oh,
That can get real deep real quick.
So Imagination Land has quite a lot. So the Cloud Town section could be for sadness because she has a weird interaction with the clouds.
Oh, definitely.
I can see the clouds being like a platforming minigame kind of situation.
Although for Disgust, the only thing with Disgust, I'm not too sure how they would do that because Sora doesn't really disgust a lot of things, as far as I know. Maybe just a whole bunch of like shadows just running around. He's like, "Oh, really?"
Oh no! I thought of the perfect one for Thea. The vault, the one that's underneath Dream Theaters.
Oh, you mean the
Dream Productions. The oh god, where Riley was afraid of the clown.
Oh,
the vacuum cleaner.
And I mean, for Sora, it definitely his. I don't know if he's afraid of darkness, but I mean, I'm assuming darkness would somehow be a part of the fear factor of that.
Yeah, I would say if they're gonna have this world, maybe Sora has to be has to jump into his own mind somehow.
Yeah, I feel like his fear would be like the fear of like not being strong enough for his friends.
Oh, right, or getting back to his friends.
Maybe,
yeah, so if it was like a physical
Goofy
embodiment
dead.
of his fear, it would probably just
Oh
be
no,
him
Goofy dead in
not.
the corner with the boulder.
And then Donald just passed out from the Zeta Flare.
Oh my god. No, I think it's established that Sora's genuinely biggest fear is losing his friends.
For sure.
Of course.
It's the only
and then
time
Joy,
he's ever shown any emotion outside of happy.
Right. Joy, I just feel like it would just be not necessarily like a musical or anything, but it would just be something to do with happiness. I don't know what.
I think that could be the Dream Productions one.
Yeah.
So Dream Productions would be joy. The subconscious could be fear. Imagination Land, I feel like could have Sadness or on one of the others.
I'm trying to think of anger.
I feel like for angers, like you can't do the emotion, but you could do the fire.
Or better yet, just have like anger, disgust, and sadness kind of all, and not necessarily intertwined, but have them in like kind of like connected emotions in a way where it's like it's all three of them, because it's going to be kind of hard to like think of three things.
Maybe with anger, like his whole thing is like keeping him angry enough to keep the fire alive.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
And when the fire runs out, the minigame ends.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so like basing the actual like motion on the minigame. Gotcha.
Yeah. So maybe like in Imagination Land, there's like a hedge maze or something, and there's particular roadblocks that can only be burned down. So you need anger to get through them.
So kind of like doing like a gauge system, like with Boo.
Yeah.
But with you fighting Heartless, it's pumping anger up basically.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like with Sadness, it would be kind of a little bit an opposite thing, but with Sadness, it would actually be to keep her from being sad.
Maybe Sadness, like with the Cloud Tower, like I like the idea of the platforming thing. So
yes,
imagine it. You know the balloon mini game in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Tigger one. Maybe it's like that, but it's clouds, and you're trying to chase after Sadness. And the only reason you know where she is because you see the rain.
Oh, that would be
that's
awesome.
A good one. That's a good one. I like
that'd be good. That'd be good.
Disgust is a hard one. I feel like you could probably integrate some stuff from Inside Out 2.
I feel like with
I want
Disgust,
to
it
limit
could be...
it to the first one.
Yeah, no, of course.
Because like I feel like it doesn't have to be anything too complicated with Disgust. Because if it's a mini game, it could just be like a very quick-based thing where you got like
it could just be a simple sorting mini game.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Because Disgust is not just like broccoli or things like that. It's
right.
Social disgust as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it could be like there's
it's sorting... it's Master Xehanort again. He's like sorting. God dang it.
No, but like there's a sorting mini game in Chain of Memories, 100 Acre Woods.
Mm-hmm.
At least in the Recon version, anyway.
Oh yeah.
Where you sort like lettuces the one way and pumpkins the other.
Yeah.
It could be something like that. Maybe a little more complicated than 2 items. But I feel like that could work for Disgust.
See, I was thinking more so like showing Disgust like things that wouldn't necessarily disgust her, and if you do disgust her, that
No. What disgusts her is getting things wrong.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Like,
there
it's like, I can't believe you put that red thing with the blue stuff. Like, what's wrong with you?
Why the hell did you put broccoli right there? That's disgusting.
Oh yeah, and if broccoli, like if you accidentally put broccoli in any of the categories, it just ends the game immediately.
The instant kill, broccoli.
But it, like, so this could be like, it could be a proper like adventure. Like you could make it story based, like how, because the story is kind of loose in 100 Acre Woods.
Yeah.
In the first one, it's just like, oh, I'm here. Let's piss about for a little bit. In the second one, it was like, okay, we need to get Pooh to remember us.
Yeah.
And that's a very vague story. As much as we clown at Atlantica, at least there's a story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Integrated with shitty rhythm games.
But at least with Winnie the Pooh, they integrated Winnie the Pooh's story for both 1, 2, and 3 into the main game. I mean, to be fair.
Okay, I do like that they did that. They had, like, not a continuous story, but it did feel like its own side story with Sora.
Yeah.
And it did conclude quite nicely in Kingdom Hearts 3 by making that world boring as sin, and Sora going, I don't want to be here anymore.
I'm still with you, Pooh. Just I won't be here physically.
I'm only here because I need some honey. Made some zucchini as well. You know, I've got this rat guy. He's cooking some food for me. It's a better minigame than this.
But I mean, honestly though, it just feels like they rehashed part of 2's story with 3. Like the whole thing about, oh, you're gonna forget about me. You'll forget about me. No, I'm not. I'm gonna be here. And it's just like, okay, that just feels like a rehash of the second story.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the point of Winnie the Pooh. It's that like it's all about childhood wonder, and then as you grow up, you do forget them. You do forget what it's like to be a child. I mean, that was the point of the Christopher Robin movie that came out.
Oh, right.
Like a few years back. Is that Christopher Robin actually grew up.
Yeah.
And then completely forgot that these characters were real.
Right.
So I feel like they could do a proper story with Inside Out. Maybe it starts with a joy minigame, moves on to the anger one, moves on to sadness, and you're going through the different areas of the brain. They could have it could be a thing with Bing Bong. Maybe Sora had his own imaginary friend in the style of Bing Bong.
Oh gosh.
I don't know.
I don't want Sora singing the Bing Bong song, please.
He would absolutely do it, and you know he would.
He would.
Oh, he would.
Oh God.
I
think Kingdom Hearts is just a way. It's just a massive dare that went wrong. It's like, oh, let's see what Haley Joel Osment won't talk, say and sing.
Do. Oh my gosh.
To be fair, he has not sung since then.
Since did he sing in 3?
No.
No. That was all Elsa. Yeah, you're right. That was all Elsa.
God, imagine if they did that.
And Anna,
imagine if they got him to do that. I'm going to say now, like while I didn't like the Let It Go scene, it is visually very, very good.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like I can't deny that. The worst sin in that world is, do you want to build a snowman?
Oh
yeah, they did that.
Oh wait, I thought the sin was that you had to go up the mountain 3 times.
No,
up
the worst sin was Anna talking over her younger self, singing.
That was so
you're
weird.
Right. You're right.
Like, why would you do that?
Like, I
the problem is, when
Disney...
we eventually get to Kingdom Hearts 3, we're gonna have to do that.
Except it will be translated.
Oh
Oof.
God. We do plan on doing Let It Go as its own video. We're not doing it in the main series because we will get copyrighted to sin.
Okay.
Copyright sin. I'm gonna keep that one in the back of my pocket.
So kind of a separate question, kind of going off of hand of like, what world do you expect him for? I expect a Haunted Mansion world because the theme of death would be perfect.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And and passing on to a different realm or plane of existence.
Do you think it would be about death or growing up, or? I feel like growing up was probably like the main theme of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
It could be death, but
Well, considering you have a whole bunch of people who are dead or technically dead that are in this different realm, I kind of feel.
So, you guys played Dark Road, or at least seen the cutscenes?
I have not seen all the cutscenes. I don't care. You can spoil it. You can spoil
That's
it.
fine. So spoilers for Dark Road. You find out so there's 2 classes under Master Odin's care. One of the classes has gone missing. You find out where that class went is that they were betrayed by another person, and all seven of them were killed. Like straight up Kingdom Hearts killed.
Jeez.
They all end up, even though they all died in different worlds, they all end up in the underworld. As in Hades' underworld. As in Olympus Coliseum.
Is that how Orin got there, maybe?
Yes.
In a similar fashion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you die, no matter
out
which world you go into, you will always end up in the underworld. Which is insane.
I mean, that's probably why Donald and Goofy are presumably there at the end of the Kingdom Hearts trailer.
It's honestly so. It's honestly the first time we've seen a world so intrinsically connected to the Kingdom Hearts plot.
It's been in almost every game.
Well, that's the thing. So it's like, so people praise worlds when they tie into the story. So things like Kingdom Hearts 3 worlds, like they don't tie into the story that well, but they have like motives and things like that. One of the best examples in that though is Monstropolis, where all of the enemies in that world are either heartless or unversed. Unversed do not appear in any other world, because the whole point of unversed is that they're negative emotions that feed on the screams. So that's why Monstropolis is seen as one of the better worlds. Something like Monstro in the first game. Riku is straight up there antagonizing Sora. He doesn't do that in any other world apart from Neverland, which is also seen as a very good world.
You're stupid!
Stupid.
But even then, it's very much like its own self-contained story. Like those stories could have happened in any other world. It could have been Sora. It could have been Riku kidnapping Alice, which I know he actually does, but like it could have been seen on screen, or it could have been Riku antagonizing Sora in Agrabah. It could have been in any other world. Dark Road sets up that if you die, you either end up in the underworld or the final world. There is no other place. Which is wild.
And Sora's found a secret third option.
No, Sora. It's canon that Sora found. I think the way it is with Sora is that because he brought people back to life, the way that he perished was different.
Yeah, because he broke like nature taboos or whatever.
Nature taboo. But he didn't perish in the same way that Kairi did. Kairi died.
Kairi straight up died and turned to crystals.
Yeah,
she became Final
Fantasy.
Fantasy.
She ended up in the final world, basically.
She became Final Fantasy.
And what Sora did was, went to go to the final world, rescue her, done. Anyway, the point is, all of these class members end up in the underworld. You find this out by going to the underworld, speaking to these people, and you find out who the main villain is from there. You don't have any other world that's so intrinsically tied to the nature and the overarching plot of Kingdom Hearts. Which is why Donald and Goofy are seen in the underworld for the trailer of Kingdom Hearts 4. Like, it's because of the whole thing with Dark Road.
Yeah.
Like, that basically confirms, like, because, like, people like saying when Kingdom Hearts 3 is like, oh, Sora's not dead, Sora never dies. It's like, the main theory that he's dead is because Donald and Goofy are in the underworld, and we now know that the underworld is where all the dead people end up.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny that Hercules isn't with them, though. I mean, I'm assuming that he may be there, and I know it's just probably because it's a Kingdom Hearts 4 teaser. But
it is just a teaser. Like, Hercules could still be there with them.
Right.
I wonder what the Star Wars world will have to do with it then, with the overarching theme of 4.
Well, again, that kind of still ties into the themes of death. I mean, Darth Vader's probably gonna if Star Wars is based off of the third movie, which seems highly likely, it's gonna be based off of death. I mean, Darth Vader's gonna die, you know.
That's true. I'm also super curious to see the Star Wars world in full whenever that pops up. Oh my god!
But what's the little vehicle thing that they ride in Endor or on Endor?
Oh, the speeder bikes.
Yeah, have Sora ride that.
Oh,
it'll just be Light Cycle 2.0.
Yes.
Now, if you're gonna have any Star Wars themed minigame, it's got to be the Doom Racers. Is it? What are they called from Episode 1?
Oh, pod racing.
The pod racing.
No, it's just pod racing. That would also be fun. I could also see a potential mini game where you work with the Ewoks to like knock out some stormtroopers in very, very goofy ways.
One thing I do want to see is doing a like an actual like Keyblade that turns into a lightsaber lightsaber battle with Darth Vader, but
Yes.
B, transition it like right afterwards, transitioning it to you're on the gummy ship and you're on the Death Trench run.
That would
Oh
be
my
sick.
God.
That would be sick.
See, now I don't
Oh,
know
I
how.
hadn't even considered that.
If all of these worlds are going to be in the Quadratum side of things, I don't know how they're going to do much of the magic stuff. So I don't know
I mean,
how.
Hey, just get Mary
I imagine
Poppins
magic's
in there.
Yeah,
Mm.
I imagine magic is still going to be a thing, considering like he can
Yeah,
still
yeah.
summon the Keyblade. He can still use like form changes to some degree, and he
Yeah.
also has that like new like build and break ability or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
That's
that
pretty
was
much
mentioned.
magic-based.
Build and
Yeah.
break.
Apparently, the
forget what it's
command
called.
menu that's seen in the trailer has the words build and break.
Oh.
I'm not sure if it's actually build and break, but it's something along those lines.
I mean,
Um,
you could theoretically make the same thing about with drive. It's like, oh, drive. What's Sora going to drive? Are we getting cars? Are we getting trucks or bikes? It's like, no, it's just a gauge where he turns into different powerful forms. Because before that time, drive didn't mean anything.
right. Oh man, that'd be that would be a really funny exchange.
So it might
No.
not be build and break in the sense of building and breaking things. It could be.
No,
But
I
we don't know.
imagine it's something along the lines of like the Azora boss fight where he like temporarily steals your weapon
Yeah,
and also like builds other things while you're fighting him.
I think we should probably call the podcast there. It's usually on about an hour long, and we'll
Okay.
probably call it there. While you two think of our like title within the episode thing, I do want to address the audience for a little moment. Obviously, we're actually recording this just after a pretty significant election in the US, which is affecting a lot of people on our team. It's probably affecting a lot of our viewers as well. Regardless of your political opinion, whether you voted for Kamala or Trump, the next 4 years will be tough for a lot of people. So from the Retranslated team, we want to make sure, obviously keep yourself safe out there, keep others safe, and generally, we'll generally try and be here for people who are struggling and just need a break from life. We'll try and do more of these podcasts, and hopefully we'll be able to do more topics like this, where we can just talk about random crap. Anyway, Josh, Lagg, have you thought of a title for us?
I mean, the ones I'm thinking of are like very silly and nonsensical.
Go for it. Like we like silly
Go
and
for it.
nonsensical.
New Kingdom Hearts retranslated babies. I don't know.
What?
Like I said, it's
Maybe something like
Oh my
into the mind of newbies.
there you go. That sounds
That
good.
ties into the inside out stuff.
God. Oh my god.
Fucking new translated
Oh my
read babies.
gosh.
Oh my fucking god. Oh god. Alright, we're gonna end it there.
That's all, folks.
Lagg, it's nice having you here.
Thank you for having me.
Josh, it's nice having you here as well.
Thank you for having me as well.
And thank you for having me here as well, viewers. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe. We really do need them. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.